Hello! Today I wanted to talk a little bit about inspiration and reference. It's one of the things I struggle with the most when I paint for myself each week, and it's easily one of the biggest skill improvements I made when I was leveling up. I have this painting process as a backdrop, but I'll also show off some specific examples and tools I use later in the video as well. Speaking of inspiration, since there's not any direct background music for this video, I felt inspired to try recording my voice this time. Let me know if that's an improvement to the written text, if the volume's good, if I'm talking too fast, anything. I'm still learning a lot about settings and creating videos, so all the feedback helps. Okay, for this painting in particular, I sat a while on an empty canvas. I had just seen Cynic's video on artists for inspiring artists, and I knew I wanted to paint something with colors inspired by Angela Sung. Nothing came to me though. It felt like it was going to be one of those throwaway paintings, where like sometimes on weeks when I'm not inspired, I just do something to go through the motions for practice. I did turn on some music, and eventually, after about an hour of noodling in a sketching PSD, a song came on that inspired me to paint fish. And this painting ended up being one of my favorite ones that I've done this year so far. It feels like a nice blend of artistic temptation and maybe even a little bit of creepy. The fish had some creepy teeth in the reference that I found, and I really liked that. The painting itself would not have come out this well though if any of those inspirations had been missing. If I hadn't found the photo of a parrotfish with the gorgeous coloring I was looking for, if I hadn't seen Cynic's video or heard the song, anything missing, and the final comes out a lot flatter than it ended up coming out. I do want to sidetrack a sec and mention some time I had on League of Legends as a splash artist. One of the biggest and best lessons I learned there was the importance of reference and inspiration. It makes a massive impact on the final result of paintings. Having every visual you love laid out in front of you throughout the whole process every day is like a huge boon. I'm going to show a quick side-by-side of two splash arts I did on League. I think about 2 years passed between these two, but I think the biggest improvement out of any subject matter was references and inspiration. Even in the first painting, you can see the perspective's strong, the shapes and colors are good, but she falls a little bit flat on things like the overall mood and the hair, for example. The second painting, Gwen, on the other hand, I had gorgeous reference photos. I had various Victorian dresses. I had Sargent paintings. I had a collection of my favorite splash from Alex Flores. One of my friends even was super into Lolita fashion and had like references from Japan from a trip they had. And all of that found its way into the DNA of the painting, into the materials, into the lighting, into the mood, everything. Even the little like side sub composition with the two little dolls on the side. None of that would have happened without the reference level up that I had over those years. Now, the biggest level up you can take for your references is learning how to manage them and organize them. For that, I cannot recommend PureRef enough. This program is a game changer, and it's completely free if you want it to. I think they ask for a donation on the website, but you should be able to donate $0 if you really can't afford to yet. But I would recommend it if you can. This program's phenomenal. It's got some funky hotkeys, but it allows you to store, arrange, crop, flip, type, and do so much more with your references. It's huge. I have, I don't know how many I have. I have so many images in so many various PureRef files. I save them a new one each year, and when I was working on League and Valorant, I made a new one for each and every painting I did. And it was massive. It was huge for organizing and keeping all of those references together, and even for finding more. If you are looking for references, though, I would recommend ShotDeck as well. That is subscription-based, though, so maybe not as student-friendly. But if you're doing any kind of painting or scene creation, it's a website that tags screenshots from movies. They tag it by color, they tag it by lighting direction, they tag it by shot type, they tag it by actors. So if you're looking for a specific race for reference on face angles, if you're looking for like red lighting and how that's different from green lighting, anything. Shotdeck is phenomenal. Thirdly, I'd also recommend just using your bookmarks and save tabs on social media. So Instagram and Twitter. I have tons and tons and tons of years of paintings saved up that are all so gorgeous. Anytime I'm bored or, if I'm lost my 10th game in a row on Deadlock and I want to paint, I just browse my bookmarks. Boom, inspiration. Not to mention phenomenal reference for shapes, of course, depending on the artists you follow. So not only does that one help with the reference itself, but it helps with inspiration after you've been working all week. And okay, I think that's about everything I wanted to talk about. So that's enough yapping from me. Thank you for watching. I hope that you get to check out some of the tools that I've shown here, and I hope that reference and inspiration is as big of a level up for you as it was for me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll let the rest of this video play out. See you next time.